Hi, I'm Haley.
Hi, I'm Kristen.
Hi, I'm Lauren.
Hi, I'm Paul. I'm Nate.
I'm Kira.
I'm Misha.
And I'm Blake. Think about the worst job you've ever had. What made it so bad? Was it the work? The environment you worked in? Was it your coworkers? Studies show that 9 times out of 10, the reason for mass turnover, very low retention rates, and employee lack of satisfaction is due to toxic leadership. Toxic leadership is defined as a series of purposeful and deliberate behaviors and acts of a leader that disrupt the effective functioning of an organization, intended to maneuver, deceive, intimidate, and humiliate others to further one's own personal gain. The only way we can effectively combat toxic leadership is to make sure we keep our leaders in check. Make sure they have left and right limits so they can't abuse their powers and their rights that we give them as leaders. So in today's modern society and modern organizations in corporate, industrial, and military, we put so much faith into our leaders day in and day out. And without the proper checks and balances, our leaders can breed a toxic environment where is a destructive and counterintuitive environment. Productivity and employee satisfaction decreases dramatically under toxic leadership, and the military is often studied and is by far the most documented in cases of toxic leadership. In the military, there's actually a saying. It's called "kiss up and kick down" tendencies. By saying that, I mean a leader will talk to their superiors and present themselves as wonderful leaders. They're great, they love their subordinates, and they're awesome. But they kick down. If their subordinates don't do everything exactly right and perfect, they'll kick them, just beat them into the dirt and make them think that they're terrible subordinates, even though they might be doing a good job under some other leaders. So we look at, is toxic leadership inherent in that leader's abilities to lead, or is it bred through organizations? Some leaders don't realize that they're being toxic. So all it might take is some coaching, some organizational changes, or just being brought up and telling the leader, hey, you're toxic, you're bad for this organization, you're tearing us apart, you're making good people leave because of your leadership abilities or lack thereof. So we've seen what a toxic leader is, and we know what a toxic leader is, but how do we recognize a toxic leader? A toxic leader can be anything from somebody that just belittles their employees, treats them like dirt, treats them terribly, or it could be something as serious as a leader committing theft or burglary, robbery, hostility, absenteeism, viciousness, and typically always late are all common signs of a toxic leader. Toxic leaders can also be overlooked quite often in a corporate environment because initially they prove to be quite effective and efficient. Toxic leaders drive their teams to be to such a high standard that they are highly productive in the short time that they initially take over. They're highly productive because they hold their subordinates to such a high standard. But eventually they will burn out and drive away their employees and subordinates. Toxic leaders are driven by their need for recognition and power and continuation of their own self growth. So What we need to work on as a whole in the corporate, industrial, and military organizations is to call out toxic leaders. Bring it up. Tell your superiors and make it known. We can't eliminate or make the problem better without saying something. We must bring it up. We must talk to our leadership. We must talk to our corporate and our coworkers, and we take a stand. We don't let toxic leaders tear us down or beat us up or make us do things that we shouldn't have to do. Don't let toxic leadership ruin any more organizations. Thank you.